surgery premises has a capital value, freehold or along leasehold, you need to give careful consideration to whether or not it is a partnership asset or whether it's an asset which is held outside of the partnership and just used and occupied by the practice. Now, there are various tax advantages associated with opting a building into being a partnership asset. So you do need to take expert tax advice, tax and SDLT advice on the ownership of the asset itself. So you need to be careful about moving it in and out of being a partnership asset, because that can trigger, for instance, an SDLT charge. It often comes as a surprise to our NHS clients. A partnership is not a business vehicle of its own right, unlike a limited company which has its own separate legal personality, or an LLP. Our clients operate as joint and several liability partnerships, and a partnership is not a separate business vehicle. It's a collection of individuals contracting in their own right. So a building is not held by a partnership, despite what the banks may say in their legal charge documentation. A property is owned by individual partners. So individual partners will sign up to the legal charge, and individual partners will be named on the land registry. So to avoid any confusion about who owns the building or who doesn't own the building, and also about the ownership and governance of the building, we recommend that you have, at the very least, it's documented in the partnership agreement, and better still, if practice is changing, if you have several buildings and the value is such that you need to protect it in its own document, you have a separate declaration of trust in place. If the property is held outside of the partnership, yes, the ownership can be much more clearly set out in the declaration of trust. Clarity has to be given as to who occupies the building and on what basis they're in that building. Are they in there as the basis of a licensee under the terms of a licence, or a lessee under the terms of a lease, or are they an owner of the building? I think there's often a confusion that because it's a practice asset, if the building is actually a partnership asset, all partners own that building because it's a partnership asset, and that might not be what the property owners think is happening. We recommend that all partners fully understand the position, they fully understand which assets are in the partnership and which assets are not in the partnership, that the partnership deed is fully up to date. If appropriate, there is a separate declaration of trust in place to govern the ownership of the building. Be warned, if you move the building in and out of the partnership such that it becomes a partnership asset or ceases to become a partnership asset, there are very serious tax implications for doing so. Please seek advice early to stop yourself from falling foul of the bear traps and compromising your position.